Today is sprinkler clock turning on day, and you never know what to expect with these. Typically it's easy, you just turn it on, and this one, well, it's usually a 15-minute job, but I've already run into my first thing here. Clock isn't turning on. Plugged in here. Maybe I'll test that outlet real quick. Well, I got an extension cord, plugged it in, and still have no action on the clock. So I'm gonna have to take this apart and see if I'm getting power out of this thing, this Rainbird power pack, and kind of trace it back, try to get some life into this thing. Well, I plugged the power pack in to a couple different sources, and right in here, this is 24 volts, and you can see the ground. And what I'm going to do is test all these leads here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Nothing but zeros, nothing but zeros, nothing but zeros, nothing but zeros. Make sure it's unplugged first, just in case something starts working. Well, I gotta take this power pack out and try to find a replacement. Of course, that's too big. So I'll read the specs on this thing here. Looks like we have an output of 25.5 volts at 1000 milliamps. And there is a part number. I'm going to order one of these because this job is pretty much on hold until I can get this to fire up.
I almost started without you. I can do this all manually. What is that? Just to, oh wow, there's roots growing right out of this thing. Huh, I wonder if that means there's a break in it. Well, anyways, I can get this all fired up manually just to check for freeze breaks and cracks. So these valves here, I just turned them all off, but they were left open during the winter, which is okay and good. And all these little bleeders are also, they're not even in. So I'm shutting everything off, and the last person left these little bleeder screws right in the pile there, which is, I guess that's one way to do it. So I'm going to screw all these in, and there's another drain right here. I'll show you as soon as I get all these things in. There's another valve box. I think this has 9 zones. So there's this other drain right here, and nope, that one was closed. So I'll close that back up and grab these other pieces here. Hopefully I don't get bit by a spider. Black widow, brown recluse. I hate spiders. There's some serious spider web action in here. These things here have arrows that tell you which direction to turn these on and off. That one's off. Oh, this one is going to be off. Well, this is the backflow preventer. This is a 1 bleeder valve here. Nothing came out. I'm just checking it for the fun of it. These are also
little ball valves. So these are closed off, so water won't squirt out. And I think the water's off in the basement. Now there's a chance, well, that's loose. There's a chance that this thing, these will spurt a little water once in a while if the diaphragm's messed up, or the spring is messed up. I don't see it crack in there. But I'll put this back on so water doesn't shoot out like a geyser. So now I will, what will I do? I'm actually gonna reshut this off, turn the water on in the basement, then come out here and turn this on and see what happens here. And just start looking for leaks, listening for water running, things like that. Okay, here we go. Sometimes it looks like there's multiple shutoffs. There's one here. Now this one needs to be open. I think this one needs to be closed. Okay, this one here, can you see that? It's a regular like hose spigot. This is how water is drained out of the backflow. So once everything's shut off, you can open this and I don't want to, well, see, oh, there goes the water. And there's actually a bucket right there for it. So this is closed, which is good or bad, because that means there's a possibility that the water was not drained out last winter. So follow this down, see what we got here. Okay. Yeah. Don't hear anything running. We'll go up and turn it on outside now. Just wanted to show you something. There's a ground. This is weird. So if you have your water pipe as a ground, which like a lot of houses do, they've got a jumper for the ground to go around the water meter, but it's been switched over to CPVC. So it's not grounded. This one looks like it's an old shutoff. Not going to mess with that. It's in line. There's another little bleeder screw over here, or that's a set screw for this thing. Not going to mess with that. It looks like it's already on. This must go to their house pressure regulator. Now it's still off, and I could get wet. These things can dry out, and in a pinch you can lubricate them up and they'll seal. Sometimes that rubber diaphragm will get a little dry. So I'm going to turn this back up here. Mark, get set, go. Okay, not bad. That little bit there is normal. And I heard some weird noises over here. So I'm going to get my ear down in here. Don't hear anything. I don't hear any water running. That's a good thing. So what I'll do is systematically turn these valves on. Just like this. Oh, there. Oh, gee. Apparently that's the front yard. All right. Well, which one was that? I think it was this one. Turn this off. All right. Well, I'm gonna go around and turn each one of these on. If I find something interesting, I'll turn the camera back on. I guess the rest of this is getting power hooked back up to the sprinkler clock. That's really the only thing that seems to be messed up right now. It took about 5 days to get the new Rainbird in, the Rainbird power transformer. They do sell off-the-shelf ones at Home Depot, not at Lowe's. Those go to a more modern sprinkler clock. This one here is 3 generations newer than this one that is dead. And I order quite a few obscure parts online, I guess is the best way to put it. And what I've learned is that there's a part number on this. We'll use this as an example. You type this part number into Google, and you're not going to get much. And you got to search, and you might find something that's a replacement for this, but that's also discontinued. And this part number here replaces several generations of parts that were replacements for this one. So keep that in mind when you're searching for older parts on the internet. I did get this on Amazon. I found it on some specialty sprinkler websites, but I don't really want to type in my credit card information to some oddball sprinkler website. So I just kept trying different part numbers and finding the right description on a specific sprinkler company's website to figure out that this replaced this. I'm going to take this over to the house and install it, and hopefully that was the problem. This one here, it's a 3-wire. You got 2 hots and 1 green ground. It's 24 volt and output AC 25 volts. So it's, and this one says yeah, output AC 25.5, just 25.0. So it's not DC, but it's AC. 1000 milliamps, 1000 milliamps. So they're nearly identical. This one did come with little clips type things that go underneath screws, so that'll be nice. I think they're home, so I probably won't be talking much, but I will set the camera up and show you how I hook this up, and we'll see if the sprinkler clock turns on. And I manually went through all the valves a couple different times. I stopped by during the week and turned the sprinklers on for them so that they could have their water yarded. Their yard watered, and all the zones work good, no leaks or anything. So in theory, I plug this in. Well, I'll hook it up, then plug it in, and then just click it over to auto, and it'll be the exact same settings as it was last summer. Upside down for some reason. What time is it? Huh? Clock's even right. That was easy. One more thing I wanted to, I guess, talk about is, if you remember from the first trip that I went there was that split water shutoff valve on the outside of the house. I'm going to go back at some point in time and replace that cracked out valve. When it's in the open position, the ball that's in there is sealing up that side of the valve. And right now the hole that's in the ball is pointed straight up and down, and water flows, through there. Technically, there's not really a way for water to squirt out of there unless you were at halfway off. Like if you were to turn the valve kind of halfway off, then the flow of water would go up into that hole and maybe out this way and spread where that crack is. But I'll be replacing that valve sometime this summer. Leave a like if you want me to record that and make a video on how to cut that out and solder in, sweat in a new valve. That's all. Goodbye.